Welcome to Goldboys Live, presented by Pickett Sports. Sleeper picks breaking down a busy afternoon in Major League Baseball. We have one game underway. The Guardians and the Pirates are scoreless. Top of the third. Guardians are threatening. Man on second. Nobody out. Brian, Josh, wild light last night. What's going on, guys?
Not much. I mean, it was a frustrating night if you were backing any of these teams that lost. I mean, 4 teams lost that scored 10 or more runs. That's got to be one of those weird outliers you see in sports.
Yeah, outlier for sure. I mean, like,
I think we lost. Did we lose Josh?
Yeah, I'm about to say I wasn't sure if I should say something or if he was just like a little blimp because I didn't want to cut him off, but it did look like we lost Josh.
All right. I
So
mean,
this show, if you're just tuning in, just got a lot better. I actually
still
got
got way
16 and
better. Yeah.
16.5% better.
It's
I've
like when
done
the
the
Lakers
math.
traded Westbrook.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there he
Josh,
is.
you're back.
We're back. Now it's 16.5% worse.
We
We
were
were
just
trying
going to say
to
we can't do the show without you, how much better it is with you. So glad
yeah.
you're back.
I can't hear Will, so that's gonna be a
You can't
Okay.
problem.
you can't hit well at all.
Yeah, he keeps freezing for me,
That's so funny. So Will can say whatever he wants, honestly, and
basically.
Josh just has to act like he's on like it's something positive.
So this is gonna be a shit show. So I'm gonna have to speak to Brian, and Brian's gonna have to relay it to Josh, like Josh is like Brian's Josh's agent or something.
If anyone missed that part and tunes
I
in like
got
a
it.
minute
I got
later,
you now. I mean, I could just raise my hand if you want when it's time for me to speak. Try to break in.
what is this like third
We'll
grade?
start best bets for today.
Nah,
What
but
do
I
you guys
mean,
got
I
for
was I
today?
was watching yesterday. I didn't have any unders, thank the Lord. So
Yeah, so best bet for me is I kind of mentioned it before the show. I'm already on Aaron Savali over 17 outs. Obviously, you can't really do much about that now, but the Dodgers Baltimore game it starts at 1:46 Eastern time, and I did take Dean Creamer over 16.5 outs on FanDuel. I kind of was mentioning it, and I kind of tweeted about it or put it in the Discord. Today is the first day that these outs props are available on FanDuel, and it seems a little wonky. They have 6 of them offered. Only one of them is the same price as like the market has. The rest of them are like 30, 40 cents off. So, I mean, I was looking at Kramer anyway. He's not a good pitcher. Let's get that out of the way. But this Baltimore Orioles bullpen, I mean, they use so many arms last 2 games because of this Dodgers team just destroying them. I mean, what they got 2 innings yesterday from Tyler Wells. They're really taxed. And the other thing is they used Cole Irvin yesterday to pitch 46 pitches and they just are really short in middle relief. So getting this at 16 and a half at plus money, he's over this in last 7 home games, and he usually throws 100 pitches. So there's no JT Martinez in the lineup for the Dodgers, and I just think at plus money, even if he gets dinged up a little bit, I think he's going to get the go ahead to pitch until he hits that like 9,500 meter mark, unless he just gets demolished, which you just hope doesn't happen. But I do think he gets the leeway here.
you took his innings there, or
Yeah, over 16 and a half.
yeah, the innings I like. It was the same logic as Keller yesterday.
Honestly, Mitch Keller, he gave up 8 runs, and I said on the show, there's no reason for the Pirates to just not let him pitch. Like
Yeah,
they don't care
Did
anymore.
Keller go
Like,
over?
he went over. He gave up
oh,
8 runs and went
wow.
6 innings.
He pitched 6 exactly, yeah, and then he gave up 5 in the first. So
Yeah,
it's kinda actually helpful when it's just all at once, and then
yeah.
you
There's no
contact when they slow
reason.
down.
They weren't
But
gonna
it
win that game. I mean, it's the
they don't
Pirates.
care.
Like,
That
yeah, they
that's the
don't
beauty is,
care.
like, we found a team that does not care anymore if they win, and they're playing in pretty competitive teams that need to win, and they're playing teams that are pretty competitive. I mean, the tribe is still in it, so
Yeah,
I think the fact that Keller's their ace too, you get a little more rope when it's your ace, and the fact that it was four, I think it was four with nobody out in the first. You figure,
yeah.
all right, he got it out of his way. Sometimes you give up a bunch early and you let him settle in. So maybe that's part of it. I can't co-sign on Kramer just because. Oh man, that Dodger lineup. His numbers, his underlying numbers are not good. If anything, I mean, I don't know if I want to play the under, but I do like the Dodgers in this game. If you have a shop that has dime lines, which is not many these days, unfortunately, but $1.40 on the Dodgers, I think is cheap. I
Yeah.
think Urias versus Kramer, I think it's a good matchup for the Dodgers here. Anything
I
else?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
go ahead.
say I might not be able to sell you on the guy Kramer, but can I sell you on a prop that is 35 cents better than the market value? That also comes into play big time there. Uh,
Yeah, so you're just picking off a number, which is smart.
yeah, I also want to bring up that the other prop I talked about on the show with Nick Larson earlier is I think it was Will that played it earlier, and then it like weirdly didn't go well. But Sandy Alcantara, 18.5 outs again. This Cardinals lineup is hitting righties so well. I kind of like the under. He's only hit the over in 3 of his 10 road starts, and despite the fact the Cardinals they don't really take a lot of pitches, I just feel like 18.5 is one of those lines where he's not the same guy. We talk about your ace getting that like leeway. He's not the same guy per se that if he's getting dinged up, they need to win these games. And I haven't played it yet, but that's one that I looked at and I had circled to kind of see.
I was in the same boat. Not that specific bet. I'm trying to figure out how to like. I was just looking at a bunch of numbers this morning, and I'm like, yo, we need to talk about the Cardinals. They're here right now. Is who we thought they were going to be to start the season on offense specifically. And they've got they're top 5. I mean, they've got basically the number one offense since July started, WRC plus and all these other things. So like, I want to figure out how to fade him. It's just, do you think that Sandy doesn't you're saying you don't think Sandy has a leash, basically?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have a leash. I just don't know if he has the same leash he does, that if he's giving up a few runs here and there and he's at that 90 pitch mark, he's not necessarily getting the same leash he would have had last year where books were too scared to even give him a 17 or 18.5 line in the slightest.
Yeah.
Marlins and Cardinals, it's interesting. Both teams going in completely opposite directions. The Cardinals, they're too far back. They're 10 out here, middle of July. I don't think they can make a run. But it's interesting. The Cardinals, just everything went wrong for them. The Marlins, everything went right. And now the Marlins just can't win a game. And I'd be worried. Same with the Reds. Same with the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks, that was a huge win last night. That was a crazy game. We probably should have talked about that. Both teams were up 2-3 runs.
I'm good.
A bunch of different. Yeah, I'm with you. Trust me. I threw them in some parlays. I only gave out team total over, but trust me, that was not pleasant. Worry about the Reds, and I worry about the Marlins right now.
Yeah, that was my my biggest upset thing is that I parlayed the Phillies and Braves at plus 140 for the money lines. I felt like a great play, especially because he kept coming back, and I was only upset because I was between that or the first 5 money lines, and I think any single way to back the Braves yesterday, whether it was Davies's earned runs, under outs, first 5 over, whatever it was, the only way you could have lost if it was on the money line. So I felt like one of those things where it's like, damn, they scored 13 runs. I feel like I nailed that, but also I'm sitting here with a red slip. So
yeah,
definitely a little frustrating. That was a crazy game.
Imagine you took Braves plus 2.5. You're it's against Davies. They're going to score a million runs. You don't even cover the 2.5. Same thing for the Marlins last night, where it was back and forth game, 1-0, 2-1, and then Arenado hits a 3-run homer in extras. Like some sicko probably out there with the plus 2.5 figure and use it good, and then a 3-run bomb to end it.
Yeah, I'll say this too. I mean, baseball kind of shows you, like a game like that, you score 13 runs, you should win, but defense matters. Braves had 3 errors. I mean, they had that one drop third strike that could have got them 2 outs, man on first, and next thing you know, it's 1 out, man on third, and the guy on first scores. I mean, that's 2 free runs right there. You don't want to say it like that, but having a man on third, it's 2 free runs. Yeah, I mean, and that ended up to bite them in the ass. It's kind of
the analytics people really are down on Elder, figuring there was some regression coming, that his ERA didn't match his expected ERA, that he's getting hit harder than the numbers indicate. So this was expected. This was maybe overdue to happen. So keep an eye on that. Brave starters haven't pitched well this last week or so, including Strider, but still up a million games. They'll be fine. A little blip on the radar. I wouldn't lay the 1.5 for the 215 today, but I might go back to Braves team total over because I think they'll continue to hit that Arizona pitching.
Yep. I'm going to move us over though to that Reds game real quick. Reds Gigantes, because I do think Ashcraft is a good. He's been pitching really well. Basically, his last 3 starts, he's all the way up to like being a good pitcher. Basically, he's sub 1.5 ERA in those 3 starts. He's gone 6 in all of them, 6.1 in a couple. So. Yeah, like I over Ross Stripling, I put that out. I'll just actually say the sleeper play.
What's your play? Is your play the under or the Reds?
The Reds.
Okay.
I'm taking them minus 105. They got bet by the Sharps, basically, is what happened. They were plus 115 originally, were the Reds. And they're all the way down to minus 105. And most of the money actually, or 50% of the bets are on the Giants. So the public is betting the Giants. The Sharps are betting the Reds. I'm taking the Reds at minus 105 because Ashcraft is a much better pitcher than Stripling. So I also do want to give out the sleeper play because it involves Stripling real quick. So I'm fading him by taking under 14.5 outs for Stripling. He rarely goes 5 innings. Ashcraft, I'm taking over 16.5 outs. And then Kenny Waldachuk, I'm taking over 1.5 earned runs as the A's and the Red Sox are going to kick off at like 12:30 on the West Coast out here.
Ooh,
so
why is that 1.5? What's the juice on that?
I'll say this.
It's not as good as the over or the under rather, but it's 1.64 on sleeper.
I'll say this. The only thing is, I was actually looking at doing something with the Wojciech earned runs. My only worry is that he's just a guy that you don't know if you're going to see like an inning out of him or 3 innings.
Yeah,
Like
that's got to be a hook there. Yeah, there's got to be
yeah,
something.
that's the only thing is that I was actually looking at a way to take the Red Sox over 2.5 first 5 or
Yeah.
over 5 for the game. I'm actually leaning over 5 for the game with the Red Sox just because if you have to think about this is the worst bullpen in baseball. So they have to deal with Wolochuk, and then if you give them 3 innings or 2 innings or whatever, and he gives up two runs, that means the bullpen has to put up 7 or 6 innings of quality work. Not quality work, but I just
Work,
think
yeah.
you give them 6 innings of a team like this Red Sox, as I've already seen a lot of this bullpen. You gotta believe they find a way to get 5 at least for the push.
Take first 5 over for them, 2.5. Like take it all for me. I think the
Yeah.
Red Sox come out and hit pretty early. They just got shut out yesterday
Yeah, they do.
by this team, and they still haven't given up more than 3 runs to this team. So even if the A's somehow come out and hit as well as they can, their ceiling is freaking 3 runs against the Red Sox. They haven't scored more than 3 against the Sox in any game this season. So
We need to talk. Yeah, we need to talk about these sleeper plays.
yeah,
Sleeper needs to give us some more money because anyone tailing our sleeper plays, my sleeper play not only lost yesterday, I think I gave out 3 legs, all 3 lost. I don't know that we've ever won a sleeper play, so we are making sleeper some serious money. We should up our rate here. Our picks, we're the first ones to congratulate ourselves when we win. Our sleeper plays just together
putrid.
have
Fade them.
awful.
Fade
Yeah,
Awful. I don't know why. I'm not sure why it is.
Fade them. Just do everything the
I
opposite.
will I will do my best tomorrow. I'll do my best. The only thing that stinks is I actually am intrigued by the idea of sleeper. I just don't have it in my state, which is really frustrating. But maybe I'll get the app. I have the app. I'll look to try it after Josh
something.
wins this. I'll try it. I'll try one. I mean, I don't know.
It's
I
like
think
in what's it, Major League when Pedro Serrano's slumping, he cuts the head off a live chicken and they bring him
Yeah.
they bring him to KFC or whatever. Like that.
Yeah, but then he has to
we
at
need
the
to
end he has
sacrifice a
to
live chicken.
yeah.
yeah, but then at the end he's like, "Fuck you, Jlboogy. I do this
Yeah.
myself."
Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you what,
challenges
I will provide a sleeper play tomorrow, and I'll try my best because I feel like I'm not doing my due diligence and bringing us down even further.
That's
No,
been
you're
bad. I
fine.
don't know
I
why.
mean,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna actually go one more pick here that I like. Wait, I just closed out my notes for some stuff.
While you get your notes up, I want to say this.
Yeah.
Another plug, not just for sleeper, but just overall for the show.
Uh-huh.
It does kind of show the I know yesterday people were asking for home run picks, and me and Will kind of shared our thoughts, and it just kind of showed that sometimes getting 3 legs is a lot harder than people realize to actually nail down, and sometimes paying the juice on one prop can really come through for that kind of reason.
I gave out and
sure.
I never do those dinger parlays.
We started talking about the Doyers
Josh
and the
can hear me.
O's and the Orioles. What's that, Will?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Yeah. So, for the Doyers and the Orioles, we were talking about Kramer, we're talking about Urias, and I think there's value in the over at 9 again, -105. I basically just Urias has been hit harder this year than definitely last year when he was a freaking Cy Young candidate. And then Kramer, come on, man. All of his expected numbers, not only are his regular numbers bad, but his projections are as bad, if not worse. So I would continue to think that the Dodgers are just going to slap the crap out of the ball and then hit a couple out. So I think 9 runs is pretty good in this one to go over.
And I'm still waiting for the Orioles offense in this series. I kept thinking they're gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
They have 3 and 4 runs. It's not like they're getting shut out, but I keep thinking, waiting for this explosion. I mean, yesterday against Grove, that was their chance, and they just didn't get anything started against them at all.
Yeah, but and the day before though, they had 9 runners left on base or something ridiculous. So yeah, they're getting hits. It's those timely ones. And if
Mr. Wedderburn is asking for a recut. Before we get to that, and we'll give that in a minute. Maybe we're just overthinking it here. First 5 inning team total, Braves over 2.5. I mean, the Dodgers. So the Dodgers not going to score 3 runs in the first 5 innings off this guy.
They should.
That's probably the best way to ice. That's
they do have 2 lefties. Yeah, lefties is also nice.
Recap, I am on the Dodgers. I didn't give this out yet. I did give it out on my channel, but I haven't mentioned it. Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies, over 1.5 walks. I gave it out plus 130. I don't have the price in front of me now. As long as it's plus money, I like it.
What was that bet? You cut up for me.
Christopher Sanchez, over 1.5 walks.
Yeah, the walks.
What about K's, though? It's at 4.5.
I didn't touch it. I just look at Milwaukee's got the 5th most walks in the league. Sanchez, 140-something career innings, 52 walks. He's over 3 innings. So, I mean,
to kind of money.
Yeah, plus money. I think
This isn't really a recap. It's actually building off that. But I know me and Nick, he's already on it. I think I want to hop on it. You mentioned the strikeouts. I do think the walks are going to be there because he's getting enough innings for it. And I also think that 4 strikeouts in a win, like the player performance double for him, is also in play. It's like plus 115. I don't trust Rhea for the Brewers. And
Yeah.
I think it's funny as a fan and a guy like the Philly guy. I think it's hard for me to ever back, like we always talk about backing your own team, but they're at the point where they've won 27 of the last 40 games. Like they're at the point where they are deserving of these like minus 200, minus 160 prices. So I do think that the player performance double with him is also nice.
Yeah, got a little dicey last night with Kimbrel. It always seems to get dicey
Yeah,
with Kimbrel. And
he's 60 for 16, and I feel like he's 100% this year on his save opportunities, and I feel like I never have a good time watching it.
Even in the All-Star game, they had 2 on. It's always
he walks back-to-back batters. I don't know.
Sweaty.
He needs the adrenaline going.
We should mention too. We were joking about how the Schwarber price was, and now it's over 1.5 walks for Sanchez. Over 1.5 plus money. If it's 2.5, I wouldn't play it.
I hate that. I hate 1.5.
Why?
I just always hate playing 1.5 over 1.5 walks. Honestly,
I mean, he's like I'd rather play the 3 at plus 300.
No, I'd rather play the half. I just want 1 walk. It's all I want to bet on is 1 walk. Like I didn't even take Soto yesterday, even though I took walks for Manoah.
What were we gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, Schwarber. We joked about how the prices are so low and they slash, but like Schwarber's probably gonna hit one, and then Schwarber hits one first pitch of the game.
I will say there is nothing more electric than, because I watch almost every Phillies game. I swear, the amount of times he hits a first pitch home run in the first inning is like it's kind of wild to think about. Like he guesses that first pitch fastball, and if he connects, that ball just flies like 450 feet. It's crazy. But and then to kind of continue the recap. I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to find a way to play the Red Sox offense. I think I might actually split it and do half and half for the first 5 and the game total for over 2.5 first 5 runs and over 5 runs for the game. And then I did take Dean Creamer over 16.5 outs at plus 112 on FanDuel.
Wow, Rich Hill just got really pissed at his outfielder as looks like Cleveland's going to get a bunt single here for a run. I don't know if it was a ball that should have been caught, but 1-0 Cleveland as they take the lead. Rich Hill is not happy. And you liked Cleveland, right, Josh? But you didn't give it out.
Oh, yeah. I like Savali in that one. Yeah,
I took Cleveland minus 115 when you said that. Like after they batted, like in between the middle innings, which I do think that there's a like some fun value in betting on baseball live if you get it right, because 3 outs and it goes to the bottom half, the home team gets these crazy juice where.
Yeah, I agree.
It was minus 115 both sides. So going into the bottom of the third.
Yep, I agree. And I had the Braves last night, just in some parlays, nothing I gave out. And then they're down 2 runs. Like, I don't have a good feeling about this. And I was able to get Arizona like minus 120 early in the game with a 2-run lead. Like, so you do get some interesting numbers. Now, of course, if you waited till they were down 3 runs, you got much better numbers. But yeah, you get sometimes these games are just a live bettor's dream. Anything else baseball before we move on?
No, I think that's the spots. I only have 2 locked in, but I think we kind of covered all the spots I had on the board.
Anything else you guys like in football that we haven't talked about? Because I have a football bet that I want to get your opinion on. Anything football you guys want to jump in with?
No, I did. It's all you.
All right, I want you guys to pull up the New York Giants schedule.
Why don't we do that?
They are minus 190 to miss the playoffs at DraftKings. Their win total is now 7.5. I want you to look at their schedule and tell me how that team is winning 8 games or how that team is making the playoffs.
Jesus.
That is a brutal schedule. I don't know how I missed
just
this.
mean.
Yeah.
This is a team. And look, I had Dable coach of the year last year, so I watched him a lot. He deserved coach of the year. But the reason he deserved coach of the year is that team stunk and he got them into the playoffs. Who knows what's going to happen with Barkley? And to just read it off, home versus the Cowboys, they're 3.5-point dogs. At the Cardinals, you better beat the Cardinals because after that,
if they lose that game,
49ers, Seahawks, at the Dolphins, at the Bills, home for the Commanders, neutral versus the Jets, which counts as a home game, which is
home
a tough
versus
one.
the Jets.
At the Vegas, I mean, there is no home versus the Jets, though. They both share the stadium. At the Commanders, Patriots. I mean, that's a brutal schedule.
Dude,
to me, that team's missing the playoffs.
I even think they split against the Commanders at this point. Honestly, I feel like
I agree.
Commanders aren't bad on defense.
Yeah.
I agree.
No,
probably 0-4 against the Cowboys and the Eagles, 1 in split
3
against Washington.
Legitimately winnable games on the schedule, maybe 4 if you count the Pats.
I agree.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
Yeah. Plus, you got to think about to make the playoffs. I mean, their division. It's kind of like we talk about in some of these baseball spots. Do you think they're not going to be good enough to win a division and sneak in? So it really doesn't leave a lot of places to be had for them.
Would you take a shot at 20-1 worst record with that schedule?
No, because I
Just
what's
because of
going to
Arizona?
be they get Arizona.
What if Arizona beats them though? What if
Yeah.
Arizona
So
got the 2
here's my
games?
question.
That's when it's going to be
As
bad.
bad as Arizona is, do you think they're really worth the prices they're getting? Like the worst record, they're like 3-1. The next person is like 750 to 1. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
2
I
to
guess
1. It's not
like
worth it. No.
so I'm saying, like on FanDuel, I saw that was 3-1 the other day, and like the next team was like 750 to 1. Like, I don't think they're as bad
Plus,
as they
there's
are.
some
That's
thought
just
that
such
Murray could come back earlier, which I don't know what to believe
Yeah.
or when he'll be back. But if he's back by week 5, that's not the worst team in the league. So I agree.
Yeah.
There's no value on that number.
No, but the other ones that I'm questioning for the Giants, like one, they just paid Daniel Jones. Like
He gets
I
hurt a
don't
lot
see
too,
them.
by the way. He was healthy last year, but he gets hurt a lot.
He was healthy.
Last year, he's been hurt a lot though.
Yeah.
He's also Daniel Jones still. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna get that bad rap because he's a derpy looking doofus, but like he's pretty freaking fast, man. I would say that the 2 teams I'm talking about here though are like the Rams and the Saints. I mean, those are at the end of the season for them, so that could be, where they're already tanking if according to the logic that we're using here. But like, how good are the Packers, Saints, and Rams going to be? I think those are 3 huge question mark teams. So I'm not ready to just be like, oh, they're going to be better than the Giants.
Yeah.
What's your point?
That taking them to have the worst record in the league is not the best. I mean, 20-1 is not terrible.
20-1,
I get
no.
that. Yeah, 20-1, I get that. But I mean, I would want to more closely look at the like legitimate like bottom 5 teams that I think would probably be most likely to end there, and go from there.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be a fun market to root for though, because not only are you rooting against the Giants, you're rooting against every single week. You're rooting for these bad teams to sneak out
Right.
wins.
Who's that 7-1 with the second best odds to finish with the worst? Do you guys have that up?
Let me see.
Texans probably are there.
There's the Texans were 750 to 1 when I checked.
These are
I
the
was just saying that in terms of, I don't think the discrepancy was was made any sense to me. The fact that it was just such a wide gap between the Cardinals and the field.
Yeah.
And I do think on DraftKings and FanDuel, they offer like you can pick exactly how many wins each team is going to have. So if you think, all right, Giants are going to go 5-12, 5 wins, I think is like 10-1 or something. So, I mean, to me, that's just the death, like complete death of a schedule. That looks like a 5-win team. And hey, if you win 5, a couple bad breaks, you could win 3 or 4 and be in the mix. I just think at 20-1, it's interesting. I don't know that I'd bet it if it would be a small bet, but I think minus 190 to miss the playoffs, I think is a great bet. You're tying up money, but to me, that team, there's no way that team's making the playoffs.
Worst regular season record for FanDuel, I have it up 250 for the Cardinals, and the next team is the Bucks at plus 950. Like that's just such a big discrepancy there.
Somebody said, "Have fun donating your money on an NFL bet." What does he mean on the Giants?
Probably the Giants, I would think, if it's the 20-1.
Yeah, I mean, look,
FanDuel has it plus 2,900, so I mean that's almost 30-1.
That's not a bad bet.
I also want to point out that we're just kind of talking about some stuff here, and if you're talking about something that pays 30 times your money, saying it's going to lose is actually not that bold of a take.
No,
it's
no,
it's actually plus 30, plus 3,000 for a reason.
Right. And I just think if Jones were to miss, and Jones has missed a lot of games in his career, neck, other things, that's just not a good roster. They have no receivers. Remember, they were supposed to be really bad last year. I thought they were lucky to get to 9 wins or whatever they got. So to me, again, I don't know if I would bet it. But
I have
minus 190 to miss the playoffs is a great bet.
I have a $10 free bet in FanDuel, and I'll put it on that for you. Because I mean, obviously, as an Eagles fan too, I'm already going to be rooting for that.
That was the funniest, nicest way to be such a dick.
I'm not.
It's 30-1, so that's not a hot take.
Well, I will say it's also the same thing with you see our fellow friends, brother Eli will put out 3 home run parlays, and I'll see comments. It's like this isn't hitting, and it's like probably won't. It's like plus $1 million for a reason. Also, if you are following this Cleveland game, Savali just had a hell of an inning. If you're on his out, that was like a 6-pitch inning.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yes. When are we going to start? You said 145 for Dodgers Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say we kind of talked about. I don't want to go all the way back, but we kind of mentioned how the Pirates here are a good team to back for over and outs. Same with anyone playing against the Guardians or the Pirates. Like the Guardians, another team, quick outcomes. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Quick outcome teams are so great for over outs.
Yeah, I knew he was a Giants. I mean, I could tell he the guy in the chat.
Yeah,
I
I was just taking it in good fun. I figured as a Giants fan,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all fine. I'm not trying to
No,
be a
it's
dick in
all
any
good.
way. I just as an Eagles fan, I will take it just to help root for it. But yeah,
I
it's fun.
appreciated Brian Dable last year. I was pounding my table all year. Coach of the year, coach of the year, coach of the year, 20-1, 25-1. He was 30-1 with at like Christmas time
Yeah.
to win coach of the year. Sirianni was the favorite. So look, I watched them a lot. I just think I think even they know with the way they're approaching Barkley, hey, this might be a take a step back year. I think last year was a little bit of fool's gold. So again, probably not going to have the worst record in the league, but 31. That they have no favors with that schedule, and they have nine road games, and then one of their home games is against the Jets. So it's really sort of 7 home games, 10 road neutral games. So something to keep an eye on. I think we're going to do more drafts next year. Let's see.
Yeah.
He says, I'm honestly
also-
on the under for us.
I'm on 7 and
Yeah,
10 for the Gigant. Well, I can't call them that. The Giants as well.
Yeah.
But like 7 wins would be a lot for them. I think like the more I'm looking at what you're saying, like 5 wins is not out of the question. And then you just got to say, like, are the Cardinals winning more than 5? To your point, if the main point with the bet here is not necessarily minus 190 to miss the playoffs as much as the 20-1 to have the worst record.
29-1. That's like, I don't know. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's 29-1.
Yeah, it's interesting because of the ways that when you look at the ways it happens, if Murray comes back and is healthier a little bit early, like I don't know, the Panthers are in there as well. There's a lot.
I like that roster. I don't mind that roster, and I like Young.
Yeah,
I like their defense.
I'm just looking at it now, but I mean, do you think they're gonna be better than Tampa Bay, the Panthers?
Yes.
I'll say this too with Will's thinking too is there is something nice about having these 30-1 bets when there's dead heat factored in because the dead heat for a plus 200 gives you there's no value there, but 30-1, might as
Plus,
well.
you get the fact you get Arizona week 2 and it's at Arizona, so that could be a two-way swing where that's the team you're really competing against. And let's just say you lose week 1 to Dallas, where the underdog. Now all of a sudden you're 0-2. You got a brutal next couple of games. There's a little carrot of Caleb Williams in here. I don't know if it got that bad. Would they pick Caleb Williams with the money they gave Jones? I don't know. I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole here, but that is something to at least think about. Again, at 29-1, that's actually at 20-1. I was sort of indifferent. At 29-1, even though I know it's unlikely, that's tempting me into a bet.
I'll tell you what, I put my free bet on it, and I can't wait to text you Sunday during that Giants Cardinals game. Like I'm gonna like tailgate.
McCoy jersey on.
Wait, is it a home game? I might go to
it's in Arizona.
Ah, damn it! If it was,
no, that's good for you. I mean, that makes it more.
I know, but I would have gone to MetLife. I would have gone. Could you imagine? Just like, what are you doing here? I'm wearing like a self-made jersey that says like worst record.
You guys think they play? Do you guys think Barkley plays? Eventually, he'll have to play, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he has some money already, but like he doesn't like Le'Veon Bell sat out, and then wait, and that. I don't think that was the play. I think that was a pretty bad script that he wrote for future running backs who may want to play that same card. Like, bro, we already told you we don't think you're that valuable. You think we're going to care as much if you don't show up?
It's also a bad play the team does well. Where like if they play decent without you, then it kind of does screw up your whole point. I mean, you're playing with fire there. And also, I know we kind of had this whole conversation yesterday, but I do want to give Barkley some benefit of the doubt. I just like obviously I don't know him personally or anything, but he does feel like a guy that I don't know if he would be able to like he's like the Le'Veon Bell level to hold up for a whole year. I don't know if that's something he
has no leverage. He's going to be what, 27 by then. Like he's have no leverage.
Yeah. Let's see. Despite the schedule, I think Giants are scrappy. Yeah, no, my girlfriend's parents are a big Giants fan. We're only friends 2 times of the year, like when they play the Cowboys or vice versa with the Eagles. But I don't know. I'm already locked in with Will, so it's gonna be my favorite bet of the year.
And I'll reiterate what I said yesterday, where I just can't feel bad for these guys. Like he's made $40 million on the field. He's turned down. I guess he was offered $14 million a year. I don't know how many years it was for, but like that's $55 million. Like I just can't feel bad for a guy. $55 million at 26 years old, plus what he makes off the field, speaking engagements, endorsements. I can't feel bad for these guys, and I don't begrudge them what they make. But to me, to sit here and feel bad for these guys, I mean, it's just gone way too far. In terms of feeling bad at these guys. I think Rosillo did a good job on his podcast. I don't know if you guys listened to it, but he's like, these running backs try to make the argument, hey, we get hurt, so you should pay us. That's the opposite. You get hurt. Why am I going to pay you like you get hurt so much? Like Barkley has been hurt a lot. These running backs get hurt. Why am I going to, let's pay these guys, they get hurt? That makes no sense.
There is an aspect of employer-employee relation and like taking care of the people that make you money.
Business though, it's a business.
It can be
The
a
running
business,
backs
but
do
like
not make the money. The running backs are so interchangeable. It's supply and demand. There's so many decent ones where you just
if
plug a
you're
guy
a
in.
Giants fan, who are you traveling to MetLife to watch?
You're going to go to the game no
Isaiah
matter what.
Hodgins?
You're not going to see Barkley. You're going to the
Are you
game
going
no
to see
matter
Isaiah
what.
Hodgins? You're
You're
for
going to
sure
see the
going to see
Giants.
Barkley.
You're going to see
No,
the
you're
Giants.
going to see. You're going to see
Last
Barkley.
time I went to a Giants game, I did put a big wager on Bellinger. It was 1.5 catches, so I went to see Bellinger. So let's be honest here, a crazy game. I think he cashed it. He cashed it on like this little like -2-yard bubble screen, and I went electric. I was so happy. Are you kidding me? I
That's
don't give a
amazing.
shit about Saquon Barkley. Bellinger caught 2 passes.
That building's
Yeah.
going to be filled or not filled, whether Barkley's in the building or not.
Debatable.
No, yeah, I mean, come
Big
on.
stadium.
Also, I will say Giants do have a good. They have a good like season ticket like
course.
program too. They just have a lot of people that I know have been like since like the 60s. So not saying that's
yeah.
all it is, but they definitely do have a good base in like the season ticket revenue as well already. And they're gonna go no matter what.
I don't think anybody
You
turns
got to
the game
entice
on
people to
see a
come all the way
running
out to East Rutherford, New Jersey from New York.
That's true.
back. All right,
It's,
anything else
it's,
before
it's,
we
it's
bounce?
a great town. No, I think that's all we got. I mean, I think that this is probably the show that we covered the most baseball, which is kind of nice. I think it's a nice all-day slate. So I think we got a lot of good talking, some angles there.
Yep. I like the Dodgers. I played over, let's see. Yep, 145 Eastern for Dodgers Orioles. I like the Dodgers there. I think that money line's cheap. And I played Sanchez over walk. We gave out your play. So we'll be back 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. Brian, Josh, a pleasure, boys. Thank you to Pickett. Thank you to Sleeper. See you guys tomorrow.